What are the best arguments you know of for why masturbation is normal and healthy? And what are some of the ways we can approach this topic with him that won't give him some weird complex? Thanks, and watch for the waspices. Chad, you worked with a lot of young men and women. You were a professor.
All right. Yeah, so first of all, semen stored in the balls, right?
No.
Okay.
But thank you.
Just checking.
Welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. Hey, everybody. Welcome to a very special Dr. Drew After Dark. Keep the emails coming, of course, at drdrafterdark@gmail.com and the voice messages at 818-253-1693. That does not change. Also, store.ymhstudios.com for the likes of this. The rational revolution is upon us. It is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Talked to Christina about it last night. We greeted with the Universal Revolution greeting, and it is upon us. So all is well. In fact, we went to Christina's stand-up last night, and she could say things in her stand-up that I dare say she couldn't have said 3 months ago, but it's now she's okay. Here's what I want you to know. This is a very special day in the life of Dr. Drew and Dr. Drew After Dark and Susan Pinsky. We are in our new studio. Finally, we are here at YMH Central. Look at this. Chad Wallin is my guest today. We'll get to that in just a second. But this is unbelievable. Is there a name for YMH Central? Does it have this whole compound have a name?
YMH Studios, baby.
Just YMH Studios. I think we need to it needs to have a name to it, like a ship has a name, that kind of thing.
What do you want to call it?
I don't know yet. Let's let it sink into me. I'll figure it out. But one of the extraordinary elements. Please show the booth boys on the program shot there. What you're seeing, which is a great shot, also. The quality of what's going on here is insane. But I can see you guys for the first time in the run of this show. It's always you've been in the booth out in the distance somewhere, and I couldn't see these guys, and now I can look at them and make eye contact and. When I give them shit and when you give me shit, You're going to have to look me in the eye and do it.
So now...
Might change things, Eddie. Might change things a bit. And if you dissociate, I'll know it. I'll know it, my friend.
So now you're going to look us straight in the eye when you say stuff like...
Shall I eat your pussy? So, which is another wonderful element that we have here today. Let me talk to this camera, which is because these guys have been collecting drops. Remember the old radio idea, which was this notion of dropping things in that are on a loop. And I've been saying embarrassing things for
there, fuckface.
Been saying embarrassing things for how many years now? How many shows now? We've 500 shows, and they've been
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, they've been accumulating these embarrassing drops that they will now be dropping back to me and letting me struggle with it. So here we go. So welcome, everybody. This is our new home, and I could not be happier. Christina and Tom, thank you for providing this environment and for including me in your lives. This has been an extraordinary journey, and it continues to be one. And believe me, it is not without immense gratitude. And by the way, to the mommies as well out there, keep high and tight, everybody. Thank you for welcoming me and even my wife and everybody that we had on this show to your world. We've got a lot of interesting things in store for you. We're changing the structure of the show a bit. Some of the skeletal elements will be on display today. They'll be coming through you primarily today through the announcer, one native, who will be
Welcome to YMH Studios, now equipped with an announcer.
There we go. We're going to have a few, but today it's we're going to start with. You're cracking your own shit up.
It's Chad's fucking shaking. Chad is shaking his head at me, and I'm not sure why.
All right, well, let's get to Chad.
That's great.
So as long as I've been seeing your name, Chad, on my emails, I thought it was Chad Wellin, and I guess Tom thought the same thing.
Yeah, he thought it was Wallin, I think.
Wallin,
it's
yes.
spelled
What did I
Wallin,
say?
so
Wallin? Wallin,
yeah,
yes.
It's Wallin.
Wallin. What kind of name is that?
Swedish.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you grow up?
Small town, Nebraska. Beaver Lake, Nebraska.
Do you speak Swedish?
I don't.
Not at all?
Yeah.
There's got to be some food or something that you were raised with that was a Swedish, a dry fish or something. I had Icelandic friends, and they always ate these weird fish concoctions.
We're not traditionally Swedish in any sense. We're just Nebraskans. So.
Is that, what did your family do in Nebraska?
My dad is a computer programmer.
Oh, of course, like most people in Nebraska. Yes.
Yeah, and my mom is awesome.
Good. That's nice. And where in Nebraska were you guys again?
Beaver Lake,
Beaver Lake. Is that near one of the cities?
south of Omaha,
South of Omaha.
like 40 minutes south.
Okay,
of there.
so it's sort of near Omaha, which is, you know.
But I mean, like my high school is in the middle of a cornfield, so it's like small town.
How many kids in your graduating class?
60.
60. That must have been cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't
that's
12.
fine.
You know what I mean?
Right.
60 is sort of manageable. I think somebody's calling me in the middle of the show. Sure enough, they are. So how did you come to be involved in this gallery of rogues, in this pirate ship we call your mom's house?
It's kind of an interesting story. I applied, and then they hired me.
Oh, wow. That's complicated. That's an incredible story. Thank you for making it
Very
so
accurate.
so colorful. I my goodness. I just imagined it in my mind. It was really quite a picture you painted. And you thought, hey, I'd like to live in Los Angeles or I'd like to live in Austin. You were working back in LA, weren't you, with us?
I was living in New York, and I was actually a professor, and I was making films,
Of what?
documentary filmmaking.
Guys,
No, yeah, I'm aware Chad is very talented. That's why we hired him.
this is an untapped resource.
Uh-huh.
One of the things we could do is build some documentaries. I'm just saying, your mom's house documentaries.
What would you like to document,
I'll
Drew?
be thinking about it. It'll occur to me during the show.
Mm-hmm.
A Fed smoker documentary?
Yeah, sure.
Just a little 20-minute doc on Fed smoker?
Yeah, a posthumous documentary.
Yeah,
sure.
you don't think that would be would get some traction with people?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, narrated by me, talking about what we're actually seeing here. But professor, what school?
Well, I did my MFA at Northwestern, so I taught the production lab there, and then I taught
At Northwestern?
Yeah,
They
and-
said you were in New York.
right. So my graduate was in Chicago, and then I taught at a school called. It's a very small school. I don't know if I should really say this. On
Okay,
the show.
you taught a small film school
Right.
in New York City.
I'm the editor, so I'll just cut it out. It's fine.
You are my editor, and I appreciate that. And so the extent that embarrassing things are left in, I blame you.
Yeah,
okay,
embarrassing things
good.
are fine. Just yeah.
Just nothing embarrassing for you. Okay.
Right. So like the pandemic happened. I was teaching. Pandemic happened. Everything went online. You know, teaching online film for a year. Just I didn't want to do it. Students didn't want to do it.
They didn't want to be taught online? Or they
Yeah,
didn't?
I mean, for film, it's very collaborative. And
I
you,
see.
you need to get your hands on the gear, and you need
I
to
see.
be out there, not like
Interesting.
on
And how did
Zoom.
you hear about this?
On Twitter, actually, I think Nadav posted that they were looking for
Were
somebody.
you already a fan of this world, or did
Yeah.
you know about it? You knew about it.
Yeah, I knew about it.
How'd you come upon it?
Well, being in academia, it can be pretty stuffy.
So,
Right.
being in academia, a natural pursuit would be your mom's house, right?
Right.
I think if I went to Caltech, most of those professors would be watching your mom's house.
They might.
Okay.
No, it was a nice escape from that world.
I see,
You
yes.
see, it's like, oh, people aren't taking themselves too seriously.
Right.
The levity was nice.
Academia sucks ass now, doesn't it?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. And you have to think a certain way, act a certain way. And it's all every faculty meeting is a big power struggle.
It's really weird and political right now, and I would say don't spend $50,000 on Zoom classes. Is my recommendation for students.
Are you talking about undergraduate or graduate or any? Any. So wait until there's in-person learning, and then, or in the meantime, do something else.
Right.
Yeah. And so you heard about this, and did you knew these guys from behind the scenes videos and stuff? The Booth Boys?
I mean, I was familiar with.
How
what
have they been to
they're-
work with?
They're great, actually.
Of course.
They're awesome.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, just you and me talking.
They kind of suck.
Oh. They're a little full of themselves, right?
A little bit.
And it's hard to talk to Andy. He dissociates all the time.
But what's
you
cool-
never know when he's listening to you or not, or when he's in some other place,
Right.
thinking about his bowels or something.
And like, yeah. I think they. It's cool because they don't really. They're kind of.
What's up, Drew? What's funny?
I just think Chad won't go there. It's so funny, but that's
No,
fine.
I like that. I like that
It's
everyone
busting
here,
balls. Everyone busts balls here. That's all it is.
We
So-
definitely bust balls here,
yeah,
especially
good.
Chris.
Okay.
Chris
Well, that's what I'm going to get into in just a second. I want to, because, but you had told me before the mics heated up that you were a Loveline listener back in the day.
Yeah, when I was like super young, I would stay up late, watch MTV, watch
Oh.
Loveline, Beavis and Butthead.
God, you look too young for that era. I mean,
I know.
real young. We're like 8.
Yeah, I was like 8. I'm 35 though.
Whoa,
So,
that's so
yeah.
old, dude. Wow.
Hey, he's older than anyone in here in the booth.
He's been a professor, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
What about
and
you
more
guys?
mature. Yeah.
Yeah. He just looks 12, but he's been a professor. Come on.
Chad looks 12.
I mean, to me. I mean, I can accept that he's 35, but he looks younger than you guys.
I think I could much
young.
easily accept that Chad is 35 then, I think, than you.
Than me?
No, yeah.
Oh,
Chad,
then you
Chad
can
looks
accept
old
it.
is what I'm saying.
Oh, it's
I look
easier.
old?
You know
You
what's
look old.
reality?
To me, yeah.
Because he's got that professorial thing he puts on once in a while. It doesn't fool me. But when you're the closer to the age of the people you're judging, you are the more accurate you tend to be. Right? I'm a distance from you guys, and you all kind of seem the same age to me, really. And so it's like,
Yeah.
But he looks, whatever reason, younger.
We're all whippersnappers to you.
No, you're all adults and you're all accomplished professionals.
I mean, I'll
Sorta.
take it.
All right,
And he
good.
gives me shit all the time about being older.
Is that right? What's wrong with that, Eddie? He's a little bit older. He's a professor, man. You jealous of that?
No.
Are you intimidated?
No, nothing's
Why don't you
wrong.
call him
Nothing's
professor?
wrong with being old
Because-
at all. I just remind him every
I'm
now
gonna
and
call
then
Chad
that he's
professor
old.
from now on.
I don't have a problem
like
with
that.
it. He has a problem.
He wants me to call it
don't have a
professor. You
problem.
see that? So, God, we would have a great Gilligan's Island documentary too. So, just saying. So, woo. Yeah. Okay, professor. That's right. So, what did you think of Loveline over because we had a lot of years of different kinds of things on Loveline, right? And weirdly, Loveline's been under attack lately. Are you guys aware of that? Yeah, I've been
Hasn't it
noticing
been off
that.
the air for a while?
Oh yeah, but now there's a lot of classic Loveline being listened to, and people are going back and enjoying it. But of course, the non-rational group, the non-revolutionary crowd, thinks it's creepy and weird, and who do these guys think they are, and that kind of stuff. And they can't even put it in historical context. The historical
Children.
context was I started doing it because of HIV and AIDS. No one was talking to young people about this shit, and there was no internet. And so we had to educate people. It was one night a week for 10 years, and then all of a sudden it was 5 nights a week, and then all of a sudden it was on TV. And we were just answering questions that people had. Similar to what we do here. You know, you still have the same damn questions. Things are still as confusing to you as ever, but you have the internet, so you can sort of have the information, but you don't have the understanding. And that's why we straighten it all out for you here. So it's not a lot different than what we're doing here now. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Professor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very similar. Very similar.
Penis is a sensitive organ.
Exactly.
Indeed it is.
Lord's work.
We're doing the Lord's work, exactly. So does I'm just curious, did you do media studies in addition to documentaries?
It was documentary media.
So how do you
kind of broad and
how do you
vague.
see that show, and let's even include this show, into the landscape of media and media history? Do you have an opinion about that? I'm asking you as a professor now. You know what I'm saying? If you were in front of your class giving a little presentation on media structure, media history, where these things fit, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think
You can get back to me if you want.
Yeah.
It's a big question.
yeah, put on a whole class.
Because I
here.
have a theory about it.
Let's hear your theory about
Well,
it.
my theory was radio was initially one of these super highly produced delivery systems where everyone had to speak with a certain radio voice and pop, 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 and they had to, everything very highly produced and professional. In the 70s, the pirate radio model blew that all up, right? And people got very interested in real. And then the interaction with the audience, the drops, things like that came in the 80s as a way to have a bomb-ass pussy. Like that bomb-ass pussies would call in. and wow, you have some horrible shit.
Yeah, buddy. You're gonna like the way this show
Oh,
is.
it's going to be bad.
It's gonna be great.
But it was just more real, more immediate, more sort of a community, right? So radio became just sort of the shared community. And my notion was, damn, radio's been this force for ill. It's created the sex, drug, and rock and roll, and I was seeing all the horrible consequences and the drug addiction and all this stuff, and I was like, should be able to climb into that and make it a force for good as well, and start talking about the consequences of all these behaviors. Be the voice of reason, which I guess I am here too, which is odd.
I like the kind of openness and honesty, like
the realness.
the realness of. I mean, I always tend to like lean towards that in films that I like, or like any kind of doc work. Like I like Anthony Bourdain a lot. That kind of work where it's just people talking, and being real. Yeah,
and I would argue that that's the direction everything has gone. Is to people are used to more YouTube sort of settings, Zoom settings, and people hanging out and chatting. And I would argue that podcasting which is sort of the where sound has gone, is very different than radio. The rhythm is different. The priorities are different. There's no back announcing or letters or don't turn the channel kind of movement. You're just hanging out. People are there because they want to be there and hang with you. And as such, you can just have a long conversation. Witness Joe Rogan. You can just sit and chat it up. And people love that. And television, I'm noticing, is kind of moving that way now a little bit. Shows like Greg Gutfeld, which is not produced at all. People just chatting in a room, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing.
I think people get burnt out on like the show of it all. Like,
Yes.
they can tell that
They don't like things to be-
something's being pulled over their eyes.
They don't
and
like things to be produced for them. They want to
Right.
have a direct contact.
They want to make them.
Now,
They want to have
we've
their own
gone too
thoughts.
far with that with this show, and so we're going to be producing little things just to kind of bring things back in a little bit. Would you say, guys? And by the way, we have this new
Yes.
beautiful studio. We want to optimize what we're doing here. And we have some new elements coming that I'm really kind of excited about. I don't know if we're going to have them for a while, but should I talk about them? Is it
Let's wait.
okay? When we're ready, we'll release them to you when you're ready. So what do you imagine today we're going to do? What do you look forward to doing here on the show?
Well, I kind of have like a love line question for you.
Please, Professor, go right ahead. Is it about you or Chris?
Well, we'll talk shit on Chris in a little bit. We'll get
Not
there.
a little bit, very soon. So go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead.
So
Remember whose show this is.
okay.
He means him.
Right.
He means Nadav. Yeah.
No, I mean Drew.
Yeah. Okay.
ENM is a hot topic in the dating apps these days, and I just want to know how tenable you think that is as a relationship.
ENM.
Ethically non-monogamous.
Oh. I've talked about that here, haven't I, guys? Have you heard me talk about it?
Yeah, you said it never works.
I said, no. I don't say it never works. First of all, let's qualify it. Do whatever the fuck you want, everybody. I'm not telling you anybody how to live their life. I'm telling you that I've had decades of experience in medicine and in the psychiatric setting, and I've seen shit. And if you want the benefit of that wisdom, that experience, and you could argue I'm biased by the time and my age and all this stuff, no, certain things are just just humanity, just things about human behavior and human. And here's the thing about it. Nothing wrong with it. If it worked, I'd be very into it. It sounds like wonderful. It sounds fun and exciting.
Yeah.
It ends badly.
It does sound complicated.
Just think about it. This is the way I try to explain it to people, which is there are armies of professionals trying to help people. Just two people have a relationship. It takes armies to get two people to get along and sustain a relationship. And where this really goes off the rail is if you're trying to raise kids. Kids need simple, stable environments for long periods of time. And if you're having complicated feelings and complicated threats to your relationship and involved in things that have you tied up emotionally and away from the kids, it's not good for them. You need to focus on the children and the environment in which they're being reared. Now, if you're never going to have kids and you're not really, there is all kinds of theories about relationship out there. There's this thing called the triad theory of love. The guy's name is like, I'll tell you his name. He's looking it up right now. Triad theory. Sternberg or Steinberg's.
Triangular theory.
Triangular theory of love. Get me an image of that, of the triangular theory of love. There it is. And you see the different points on the triangle. You need passion, right? And we talk a lot about that in this shit. Be really attracted to the person. You gotta be attracted to that person every day for many, many years. I'm hoping my wife and I are an example of that. So we've had the passion from the beginning. It doesn't go away, interestingly. You can fuck it up, but it tends to be a very renewing piece of the relationship. Intimacy. We had to fight for that because I was such a fucking workaholic. And she kept saying there wasn't enough intimacy. I didn't know what she was talking about. And as a male, we are very much sort of clueless for many reasons on that front. And I feel like, thankfully, she had commitment, and so did I. So even that one part of the triangle wasn't always there the way it should be. We eventually figured that out. And now we have all three. But the commitment is what keeps you in the relationship. And if the intimacy was being sought outside of the relationship, it would have unraveled. Everything would unravel. We never would have found our way back, and the passion would have gone to somebody else, and it would just unraveled. So commitment, and you could argue whether this is an accurate theory or not. I understand it's just a theory, but commitment is the piece that people sort of leave off the table. And I am here to tell you that when you commit to somebody in front of God and everybody, things change immediately. It's a different feeling.
Right.
And all the assholes that say, it's just a piece of paper. Yeah, every contract is just a piece of paper, fuckwad. Every contract is just a piece of paper. And guess what? You put your name on it, it's bound. contracts are binding. It just so happens that a marriage contract is the only contract you have, you and your spouse, with society. It's your societal contract. And I'm saying to minimize that. So here's the old man. Now I'm like the guy, get off my porch guy. I'm the old man talking from my perspective. I just can tell you, there's a reason these things have been around throughout human history. There's a reason. And if you go into every culture, it's the same. And yes, there are variations on the theme, but whenever there's two things I would say, God, I'm getting heavy today. See what you did to me, Professor? You bring me back to academia. Our friends at BetterHelp, I think you know that I'm, of course, an advocate for therapy. And now with online therapeutics, it's even that much more accessible. No reason to feel stigmatized. Don't worry about running into somebody in a waiting room, anything like that. And kind of tune into your body these days. I think people are feeling kind of stressed out. And some of the physical experiences you're having, or let's say you're doom scrolling on TikTok like I do, that's a sign that it might be time to get some help. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, even live chat. These sessions with your therapist, you don't have to see anyone on camera, even if you don't want to. It's more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Dr. Drew After Dark listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/afterdark. That is BetterHelp.com/afterdark. One more time, go to betterhelp.com/afterdark. I think people know that I'm a fan of oral hydration products. We shouldn't have to use an IV. We have technologies that give us oral hydration. And top of my list, Liquid IV. Liquid IV. I love the lemon line. I just got over diverticulitis. Liquid IV kept me hydrated. It's you need more than just water, particularly when you're sick or when you're trying to rehydrate after exertion. One stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates faster and, of course, more effectively than water, as I say. Contains 5 essential vitamins, B3, B5, B6, B12, vitamin C, 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks, non-GMO, premium ingredients, gluten-free, dairy and soy-free. Liquid IV is effective because of their cellular transport technology, designed to enhance rapid absorption of water and other key ingredients into the bloodstream and then from the bloodstream into our cellular environment. Liquid IV is on a mission to change the world. They've donated over 20 million servings globally. Grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can go get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com. Use code Dr. Drew at checkout. Get the watermelon flavor. That is Susan's favorite. That's 25% off anything you order when you use promo code Dr. Drew at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today at liquidiv.com. Promo code Dr. Drew. But there are two things I would say. These are alarming statements that people, 3 alarming things that people say. This time it will be different. Now we figured it out. I'm on a holy mission. Those 3 things portend trouble. Things are not that certain. Things have been around for a long time. Just learn from the wisdom of the past. Yes, you can alter it and get your own version of it, but don't say, I figured it out for everybody. Now we figured it out. This time it will be different. No, it's never different. It may have a different time course, and it is always somewhat different, but not the way you mean it when you say this time it'll be different. And what was the third one? A holy mission. God damn it. I've seen so many screwed up things in medicine where doctors have a holy mission and they centralize their authority. I'm giving a lecture on that in Bermuda next week.
Really?
What?
Like that they do holy missions? Well, like what do you mean by that?
I will hear those words come out of doctors' mouths. For instance, the reason we have the opioid crisis. The opioid crisis was 2 things. They scared the shit out of doctors by not suing them for malpractice for not treating pain adequately. They made it a criminal issue. So doctors were fined personally on civil courts or sent to jail in criminal courts. Freaked us all out. So we sent everybody to pain management specialists, and pain management doctors are on the record historically saying it was our holy mission to eradicate pain. Right? You get it?
Yeah.
Holy mission. And I've seen something similar going on with COVID. 1 death is too many. What? Well, if 1 death is too many, we're not in a pandemic, because pandemic is defined by excess death. So you're on a holy mission where 1 death is too many. That's fucked up. Now your judgment's all off. You're not going to be able to respond to the reality of a pandemic where there are excess death. So I'm giving a lecture on this in Bermuda in a week or so. So
Love to hear it.
Net zero anything is probably not the good approach to most things.
Absolute, all yes, all no, anything. And human behavior and medicine is just all a giant mistake. It's just, you've got to be, everything's, and we're in a time now where, Professor, you're going to send me down this academic path. It's so weird that everybody has these personality traits that make them think sort of all one way and all the other. There's a lot of that going on, and that is unhealthy.
Right.
It's unhealthy. Everything is much grayer than it appears. Everything in human behavior and human experiences.
I have a question, Drew.
Oh, yeah. Andy, what's going on, buddy?
But so of those 3 things that you said you don't like people saying.
Let me write it down so I'll make sure I don't forget it. Holy mission, right?
Yeah.
This time different.
And then the last one.
What was the last one? Last one was
that we figured it out.
We figured it out now. We figured it out. Now we figured it out. You know, it's for the first time because I've been through a wave of that. We called that the 1960s, and that was another fucked up consequence, and we called that the 1970s. That's what everything that set up everything for all the shit I'm seeing now, all the trauma and kids and that kind of thing. Okay, go ahead.
I see. So wait a minute.
Yeah.
And now this is in reference to medicine, not.
I think these are general principles. They're definitely in regards to medicine, but I think they're general principles. Anything sort of anthropological. You know what I mean? Anything about the human experience.
But didn't you kind of just say that you figured out relationships, like polyamorous relationships?
No, I didn't figure it out.
No?
I'm saying, do what you want.
Yeah.
I can tell you from experience, it doesn't work out.
Right.
It just tends not to work out. I'm not saying it can't work out for some people. Yeah.
Okay,
no,
okay.
somebody might make it go. For somebody, it might be exactly the right thing to do. By the way, and I have no problem with that. But I'm saying, for the average person, it tends, in my experience, it doesn't turn out well, and it's not a good idea for child rearing. I'm not saying I figured it out. I'm not saying this time it's different. I'm saying it tends not to be that way.
I'll tell my date that Drew said it's not going to work. The E&M thing.
Oh.
Like Dr. Drew said, this is not.
See, the problem
tenable.
here, Chad, is you pack a lot into those kinds of statements. You say, so what's he talking about here? Do you guys aware there's somebody that he wants to be E&M?
I mean,
with
he's
him?
right there. He can
No.
tell you
I'm
everything.
asking if you guys have heard this before, because I imagine you would have busted his balls already if you knew he was dating somebody who wanted to.
I mean, Chad's a dating machine. You
So
know?
are you?
He's just
You have
doing
lots of
what he
success
does.
here?
Yeah, I go on a lot of dates here.
How do you find your dates?
They're pretty good. One recently has been pretty nice.
And she's the E&M one.
Yeah. So that's the.
Oh boy. So is she just saying she just doesn't want to be exclusive?
I mean, I think it's like a trend on the dating apps now. Like a lot of people have E&M in their profiles.
Meaning, I don't want you to get too
Right.
invested
But
here.
commitment.
Oh.
Yeah, commitment.
That's
that
what
kind of
that
thing.
means.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought it was one of those like, well, I'm an empath, like one of those like
INTJ
yeah.
shit.
I just saw
What's
I saw the
INTJ?
letters.
That's the Myers-Briggs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just see like like the 3 letters. I'm like, oh, this is just some
It's a
behavior
personality
bullshit I don't
profile.
understand.
It's so funny. We should do some of the Myers-Briggs stuff here. It's not even the Myers-Briggs, just the big 5 personality.
Sure.
You notice how we're going to do more tests. Look forward to that, guys. More tests coming on this show. But I have found the big 5 not that interesting. You know what I mean? So what? So you're introverted.
What is it? I've always run in the other direction where I'm like, this is just fucking. This is a long
it's just
fucking
they
test.
found that there are 5 domains of personality that if you qualify each of those 5 domains, you pretty much can characterize all the basic personality styles. I think that's
Okay.
it. Not pathologize, not the pathologies in personality, which we've been mostly focused on, but just the personality functions.
But-
Say, are you open or closed? Are you warm or cold?
Is that useful for anything outside of
I
Tinder
don't
and
find
Bumble?
it. I don't find it useful. That's why I don't focus on it. I don't talk about it.
It honestly just feels like the new type of horoscope shit. Like, I'm a fucking
no.
Libra, I'm emotional.
Well, but this actually this is founded in good science. Don't get me wrong. It is in good science. I just don't. It doesn't interest me. And by the way, the other thing I'd watch out for always is when people describe themselves. I worry about that. I think evaluation needs to be done objectively from afar.
It's a really
professor.
interesting point.
I
Professor
totally
saying
agree with that.
Professor saying that.
Yeah.
And by the way, not from somebody who's intimately involved either, because just the other day I did a psychopath test of my wife, thinking that was going to turn out positive, and it didn't. Lo and behold, so I did not think it was going to turn out positive. Honey, I love you, and whatever we're gonna I wonder if I should just call her. Is it
You
time
want
to call her?
to call Susan? I'm into it.
All right, let's call her. Let's do it. Sorry,
Wait,
Chris.
Chad?
He just what?
I called him Chris. I want to talk about the Chris Chad thing.
And wait, hold on. What are we asking Susan here?
Is she okay after her last visit?
Oh,
here?
okay.
Yeah. So,
To be clear, I want to be monogamous. That's what I want to do.
and what does she say when you
Healthy
tell her
Chad.
that? What does she say when you tell her that?
Yeah, I mean we've talked about it, but we haven't got.
I know what she really means by that.
Well,
She just
okay. To be fair, this date I've only seen a couple times. We're not like anything really.
or you're a stalker. You're going to start stalking her. You're too into her.
Oh boy.
Be careful. Be careful.
I didn't pick up on that notion, but I think, Drew, you're the expert here.
And we'll see. Keep an eye on him. Keep an
just-
eye. You can get too into somebody. You got to be careful.
Let's just call Susan.
We'll use her. We'll use her as a foil for this to talk about it. Hi, honey. You're on with us at your mom's house.
Oh, hi. Can you hear me? I've got one earbud in.
You're echoey. It sounds like you're in the shower.
No, I'm not in the shower. I'm in an apartment building in Austin.
You know, that's interesting. Bert Kreischer sent us out to look for condos. He keeps calling me drunk. Go ahead.
I just saw one that's very nice. They have a nice amenities, and it's about 5 blocks from the Zaza, and I don't know, it's just really nice.
Well, now that we have this unbelievable studio, we got to make Austin more of our home, right? So a couple things. We just want to check in with you and make sure you're cool after your last sort of visit here with us after the strip club. Everything's good for you?
Yeah. How about you?
Good. I just didn't want anybody to think that I was being too harsh on you, and I wanted to sort of, give you a chance.
I won't know if anybody's gonna be too harsh on me until I see how people react. So.
Okay. Well, you keep an eye on the social media. We're not going.
Whatever.
Okay, our connection is shitty, so I'm gonna have to keep this one short. But I love you. One quick question. Chad is Chad Wallin, or Wallin as we call him, Wallin.
Wallin.
He's now my guest on the show today. He's one of the guests we're having in the next couple of days.
Congratulations.
Yes, and he's on dating platforms, and he's gotten really obsessed with this one girl. He's in fact in love with her, and she puts on her profile that she is.
Welcome to the show, Chad.
And she is.
Jesus Christ.
She is. What does the E stand for?
Annie.
Equitable. Hang on a second. Come on. What's the E? For?
Erogenous?
No, ENM. E is.
Erection.
No, fuck you guys. Susan, I'm sorry you're in the middle of this.
Ethical,
Anyway,
ethical.
non-monogamous, ethically non-monogamous. Yeah. And what's he to do? How does he not scare her because he likes it, and she's clearly like a commitment phobe or something? How does he approach that?
And monogamous, Leah?
Well, we can't hear you, so I'm gonna have to end this call. Okay.
Listen, just stick with it and have a good time. Don't get too uptight about this stuff. Have fun.
All right. So you just enjoy it. All right, buddy. See you, Susan.
Buddy.
Bye. I know. I always say bye, buddy, to everyone I end the phone call with. And here's why that is. Because normally,
Susan likes that?
no. Normally at this time of day, I'm speaking either to one of my close friends or Adam Carolla. Everybody calls me every day, and end the calls with, hey, buddy. Okay. So that's what we're doing. Weird on my part. So there you go. So just cool out and keep at it and see where it goes, and try not to get too. That's the hard part about dating. You can get really connected to people, and it can be disappointing. It can be shattering if you're not careful. So
I think I made a mistake.
talking about this.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the Chris versus Chad.
Well,
battle.
luckily, you're going to be editing the show, Chad.
Yeah, you can edit us out. It's up to you, Chad. We have all been there. Out of nowhere, you get hit with an unexpected bill or expense. Can feel like the weight of the world is coming down on you, and it's normal not to know where to turn. But luckily, we have Upstart here to help. Upstart-powered personal loans can help you pay down high-interest debt, all online with simple, easy-to-understand payment terms. Upstart has helped over 1.8 million customers on their path to financial freedom. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, Upstart can help you with one fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. That structure is invaluable. Upstart knows you are more than just your credit score. So rather than looking at your credit score alone, Upstart's model considers other factors like your income, employment, other information provided in your loan application to find you a smarter rate for your loan. You can check your rate in just minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000 without impacting your credit score. You can even receive the funds as fast as one business day after accepting your loan. Don't wait and check your rate today. Upstart.com/Dr. Drew. That is upstart.com/Dr. Drew to check your rate today. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know that we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. One more time, go to upstart.com/Dr. Drew. Chris versus Chad. What's happening there?
Right. So, first of all, like, let me give some background too on my perspective of Chad joining the team. So, when I was first out here in Austin looking at places, it was kind of a multi-purpose trip. We were also looking to expand the team. So, one of those things was, finding another person to help edit and just be another body here to help in all the different things that we do.
All right.
And so met up with a bunch of people. A lot of candidates were good, but Chad stood out as like just a real pro that like is just there to be like a member of the team, to be what you need. And I remember I was just like, I made it very clear on the post too. That I was like, we're looking for locals. We're not looking to relocate anybody. And I asked Chad what part of Austin he lived in. And he was like, I flew in for this interview.
Whoa.
And I was like, I got really impressed.
So that was a good thing, not a bad thing.
Right.
It could have been a bad thing, right?
Because like what it is that he made it a him problem and not a me problem. You know? Which is like, this is great. Chad's going to make things not my problem.
That's the quote on the head of Nadav's title page.
Yeah, when he emailed me for an interview, he's like, "Can you come next week?" And I said yes, and didn't tell him I wasn't here. But when he asked, I told him I didn't.
That's how you get a job, everybody.
No,
that's how you do it, everybody.
It was just completely
You go
impressive.
over the top because, I always say that whatever you see during the process of getting involved with somebody, it's just going to be more of that when you actually are in business with them.
And the proof is in the pudding. Yeah. Like Chad has been just a dream to work with over here. Like he's literally just improved.
He's not going to last though because you're fucking with him so much. He's just going to go.
I'd say you're fucking with him a little bit more than I am right now. But I'd also say like, so this is leading up to the Chris versus Chad thing. Is that when he joined the team, I just noticed him and Chris really just vibing because they're both working on episodes, like editing next to each other. Chris is training Chad. Chad is, learning everything that Chris has to offer. And
where's the versus
I just started seeing them kind of butt heads a little bit. Where it was just like, I've never seen anyone bring this side of Chris out. Because as you know, he's always been quiet, calm, collected.
And such a bundle of joy and enthusiasm.
Well, here's the thing.
By the way, Chad's affect is kind of like that. A little bit. He can be that way.
Post-production people are just good people.
Yeah.
At first.
Yeah. So I mean, I actually like Chris. He's a great guy. I like working with him.
So what we're saying is next it's Chad with the strippers is what you're saying. Is that right? The next live show?
I'm not hearing a no from Chad, so
okay,
yes.
I'm not gonna say no.
Wow, that'll be really interesting. So
no, he's a good guy, but like also fuck him.
So there's again a lot packed into that. So meaning he's not a professor like you, or I don't have to listen to him, or
I think he's threatened by me, so like he likes to push my buttons quite a bit.
Okay, and is that a good-natured, friendly button pushing? And is the fuck him like
exactly
a good wrestling partner?
Right.
Yeah,
that's
good.
Yeah. So it always started with like, whenever Chad is, being like, hey, like, pretty soon I'm going to be doing a lot of the stuff that Chris does. And Chris is just like, know your role, Chad, you fucking piece of shit. Like, just kind of like.
But does he mean it?
In an affectionate way, probably.
Oh, man. Can you record some of that for me?
Well, I got some stuff to show.
Oh, good.
So, like, this is all just context for the videos I'm about to show you because they've been beefing pretty hard. Like, because for the longest time, Chris was the moral barometer of the studio. He's the canary in the coal mine. It's, because we can't tell if something is morally reprehensible. That's what Chris is for.
I thought that was my job.
Yeah, but you come once in a while.
Okay,
Chris
I
is
see.
here Monday
Regular,
to Friday.
okay.
And so then Chad joined the team, and all of a sudden, Chris is not the only smart person on staff.
Yeah, I get it. I can see where it could be threatening to him, and maybe Chad could do everything. You don't even need Chris. Who knows? Maybe he's
Whoa,
thinking that way.
Chad's over here and could hear you. Don't let
I'm just
Chad
saying
hear
that maybe the way he was thinking, Chris is thinking anyway. So I'm just saying.
Well, smart and morality aren't exactly the same thing.
Oh,
So
absolutely, they're
he
not.
can have that title still.
So you're the. Well, welcome. That's good. You'll
Right.
get along here fine.
So we've been putting them, on your mom's house. Like we honestly didn't know who the smart one was, so we made them do a smart off.
You know, I've never interviewed Chris. I don't think. I mean, we need to give him a chance on this show too.
Oh yeah, he's coming on the next episode.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Okay,
yeah,
excellent. All
there'll be
right.
some tit for tat. But
Okay, good.
And then you can choose if you're Team Chris or Team Chad.
Right.
We'll give you time to think
You know,
about it. But
I'm not a conflict person. I don't like conflict. I'm
Right.
into conflict
Too bad.
resolution. Yeah. All right, here we go.
You're gonna figure it out.
All right.
when you decide, though, just remember I edit your show.
You're the only one. Chris doesn't.
I do it now.
Who is there an authority structure in your relationship?
No.
Well, how do you? how
Chris
does-
thinks there is,
But what if
no.
Chris said, "Hey, Chad, I'm taking Drew's show now."
I would let him.
See, so I got to
Yeah.
be nice to Chris too. All right, so show me some stuff. I want to see what's
Right.
really going on.
So there was a smart off, and throughout the smart off, there's kind of been beef on social media where, there's been a post here by Chad, a post there by Chris. So let me show you the first post that Chad put up for just the whole world to see.
You're a bitch, Chris. You're not too smart, and you're only getting dumber every day. You think you're right, you're just a dummy. You think you're right, you're a big fucking dummy. Don't be a Chris girl, cause he isn't too smart, and he's only getting dumber every day. You think you're funny, but that don't mean you're too smart. You're too smart.
so good.
Yeah, you a bitch, Chris. You a bitch.
Fuck you.
All right.
Pretty good.
That must make for a lovely work environment.
Yeah.
And you guys sit next to each other?
Oh, yeah. Right next to each other.
Woo!
So that was the first tit in
But let
this
me just
tit for
say,
tat.
well done.
Oh,
well,
thanks.
really well done. So, what came back? What was the response?
So as you know, Chris does a monthly post on Instagram, on social media.
Yes.
It's the checking in on people, doing shout outs, that kind of stuff. And this was Chris's
Cannot wait.
April video. That was kind of the tat to Chad's tit.
Hey everyone, it's April, so here's my monthly post. Quick birthday shout out to Tristan, whose birthday's on the 10th. Happy birthday, Tristan. Hope it's a good one. With everyone coming back into the office, thought I'd give a few office tips, like be on time.
Is that for
Listen
you?
to people who've been there longer than
That's for
you,
me.
because they probably know a lot more and have a lot to offer.
Hence why I'm Team Chad.
If you're gonna do an office prank, make sure it's actually funny and not mean, because that's how office feuds get started. And if you think you're smarter than others, then maybe don't talk about it so much, because people don't like that, and especially if the only reason you think that is because you answer a few random trivia questions correctly. And definitely don't write a song about it either. And if you do write a song, be original. Don't parody someone else's work. And those are my office tips. See you next month. Bye.
Really? To do a parody song, you have to write the music yourself? It's not a parody then.
Yeah.
It's just a.
Right. Chris is arguing he wants original.
I don't think
music.
Chris understands irony. I don't think he understands. I don't know.
I think he understands it very well.
Well, he understands what was coming at him, that's for sure. But it wasn't mean. It was a nice homage.
Right.
He,
He didn't
did you
quite
play
get it.
sports in high school?
A little bit.
What'd you play?
I did track and then I did football for a year.
All right. So in football, you're used to getting your balls busted, right?
Yeah.
Everybody busts his ball. I don't think Chris understands the affectionate quality of ball busting. I don't think he
Yeah,
really
look at
gets it.
this ball busting.
I
Look at
have-
Chad's bio. Do you see what it says?
We're smart. This is so good. It's so good. But
It's true.
But I think what is that Italian town there in the upper right corner?
That's Morocco and that's Istanbul.
What the hell, man? Professor, traveling a lot.
Yeah, I've been to 30 something
Good
countries.
for you. How long do you plan to stay here at YMH Studios?
Just until the big thing takes off, you know.
Yeah, and then get the hell out of here, right? Until you get that big doc going. I'm going to work on that for you. We gotta break you out of this.
No, I
I'm just
love it
saying,
here. I love it here.
It is amazing. It's amazing what they've done, isn't it?
Right.
This
It's great.
look what we're doing here. It's crazy.
There is one more tat.
Oh, I do want to see it, but hold on. I'm gonna assign. I know what test I want to give Chris.
What?
There's a personality test. We'll see.
Oh,
when
the
we get
psycho
there.
test?
I have a new test that we've not done that I want to give Chris. So, all right. So, okay, one more tick for tat. Let's do it.
So, Chad is not okay with Chris getting the last word. He's the last word champ. So Chad went ahead and did this incredibly disrespectful post.
Hey everyone, here's another boring post. It's today, so happy today. It's weather outside, so make sure you know what it is. Shout out to Jasmine and Mitchell who are expecting their first baby. Life's a gift. Some tips for social media. If you're going to post, maybe show some variety so people don't think you're sort of a one-trick pony. If you're going to give advice, maybe give better advice. And don't pretend like you don't care when secretly you really do, because like I said, life's a gift, so act like it. Also, you don't need to feel threatened by new coworkers. Don't call them a little bitch, because that says more about you and your own insecurities, really. And there may be a reason they were hired in the first place, so keep that in mind. Don't talk shit about them writing a parody song about you. They might then write a real song about you. So my biggest advice is don't start shit you're not ready for. That's all. Piece of shit.
I went full method on that one.
I was going to say, forget documentaries. You just go become an actor.
Yeah,
you
I
nailed the affect exactly.
I studied his videos. I practiced his mannerisms. I played 40 hours of Elden Ring. I really got into it.
Okay, what's wrong with you?
It's
It's too much. It's too much.
I mean, you could
Oh,
say
it's
I'm
over
like
the
the
top.
next Daniel Day-Lewis.
Well, I would argue that you really, that was method acting. But all kidding aside, it's hard to nail that affect. You nailed it.
Yeah, it was fun.
So, all right. Well, I'm sure there's more coming. All right. So let me get into the show a little bit here. This has been a Chad versus Chris day. And Chad, thank you for being so open and honest and sharing your
Sure.
acting chops with us. Huh?
No, I was just cheering for Chad being open and honest.
All right, good. I would like to do a TikTok segment coming up. Maybe our announcer will welcome us into that segment.
And up next, welcome to the TikTok segment.
Let's do it. Let's see some TikToks. What's going on there? Can you tell?
There's a
Is it pork chop
there's
or
a-
something?
There's a plate on a coat hanger on his shirt.
But he has a steak and a, what's the green thing?
Cucumber or pickle or something.
Pickle? How's it sticking?
The coat hanger. That's what's cool about this.
It is cool.
He's
It's-
reinventing eating.
Yeah, no, I dig it. And it's all meat. I'm in for that. So,
And a cucumber.
thoughts, Chad? Anything?
It's pretty smart.
Okay, let's keep going. More TikToks.
I love you so much that I'll do things to you that I would not even do to a farm animal.
You think
That's
Chad
love,
sends his
baby.
girl these videos, the one that he's talking to?
Well, I think he's kidding, but it reminds me, everybody, that Christina's back. She is back with her TikToks. I had dinner with her a couple weeks ago, and I gave her shit that her TikToks were getting she was showing cats running down a ramp and things. Like, she spent too much time with her sons and to little children, she immediately, hours later, she was back. She was back, everybody. But mind you,
Yeah, it's all really upsetting now.
while we were at dinner, her sons were refusing to go to sleep, and we all went in there to try to calm them down. And what's the oldest one's name?
Ellis?
Ellis started screaming, "Shut up, cracker," to mom. And then to us,
Shut up, cracker.
"Shut up, cracker." And then the little one started saying the same thing and laughing his ass off and jumping around, screaming, "Shut up, cracker.
boy.
Shut
Man.
up, cracker."
I'm really glad I wasn't there. That could have went bad.
So apparently,
Yeah, you would have checked those kids.
I know. Maybe he would have said something else.
so apparently, well, should we get into our greeting last night, Eddie?
Oh my god, that was the funniest fucking shit.
So
dude.
one of the
Hold on, I think we're still in the
all
TikTok
right.
segment.
All right. So we'll get around to Eddie and my greeting at some point, but let's go with the TikToks. Keep going.
Just I genuinely don't understand how people
like have this be so hairless. I feel like I'm so stubbly. Oh, by the way, yes, you can go wear a bikini and go swimming even when you're on your period. I got my little tampon string, but usually I just tuck it in and then I'm good to go. But anyways, this is my suit for the day. I'm just going for like a quick dip in the pool before dinner, and after doing some work emails.
Jesus Christ.
I always wondered how that worked.
How you dealt with a bikini when you're on your period?
Right.
It's a tampon, but you're more wondering where the stream goes.
Yeah.
Well, tuck it in.
Okay.
It's all right. I find this very appealing.
Appealing?
There's something
what part
very
do you
appealing
find
about
appealing?
that. She's so honest and so straightforward and so uninhibited.
And he doesn't like it.
And he
Nah,
doesn't
she
dig
crazy.
it. Well, and he likes to be hidden, likes and he likes farts and things to be hidden from him, right? He doesn't like any human. See, I don't mind human biology.
Any evidence of humanity?
Yeah, any human biological processes, and he will have none of it. And
But it ain't about that with this girl though.
it's what I love about Annie too. But she's she's comfortable
She's
with
very
everything.
open.
She's open. I imagine this is her brand or something on TikTok, and I wouldn't recommend this everybody. I don't think it's like if you're a professor, I'm not so sure I would recommend all this, or if you're a cardiothoracic surgeon, I don't think your patients are going to like that. But if you're a 28-year-old,
Well,
bikini
luckily,
model,
I
whatever.
don't think I'll ever be a professor again. I think working here is pretty
This
much
pretty much
sealed
did
that
it?
deal. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
We'll see.
It's interesting. You would think that they would. This is such new media that they would welcome it. That this is part of the challenge of the next generation of who you're trying to teach.
Yeah. Have you seen the videos we show?
I have. I'm going to
Okay,
show
yeah.
some. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going.
Curious. Wait a minute before we move on from this though, 'cause
Okay.
that wasn't my issue. Was her tampon and all that shit.
Oh.
My issue was look at her facial expression the whole time. She looked like wild as fuck to me, like scary. So do you see?
You're
any of that?
scared.
Yeah. Do you see any of that?
All right. Let's look.
Like have this be so hairless. I feel
Not
like I'm
here,
so
hold on.
stubbly. Oh, by the way, yes, you can go wear
First
a
of all,
bikini
it's
and go
that blank
swimming
stare
even when you're on your
that never
period. I got my
changes.
little tampon string, but usually I
hold
just
on.
tuck it in and then I'm good to go. But anyways, this is my suit for the day. I'm just going for like a quick dip in the pool before dinner,
like,
and after doing
I think
some
how
work
like
emails.
expressive she seems, but
It
also
seems
that her
empty. It
eyes
seems-
never
it-
change.
It seems a
It's
little empty.
confusing.
No, but I do get what you're saying. There's something very superficial about her expressions. But again, we're watching a TikTok and people are making nicey nice, and I don't know. I can't read too much into that, but I get what you're saying. But you're not afraid of her because of the stuff that you and I have talked about in the past, where she'd be too into the sort of aggressive stuff sexually. Is that what you're saying? You know what I'm talking about?
Too aggressively into sexual stuff?
We've talked about the S&M stuff, you and I, right? And are you talking about that
Yeah.
kind of aggression from her?
No. That aggression would be completely welcomed. No, yeah, it's not that.
Right. It's not your kind of aggression. It's just the emptiness you don't like.
Yeah, it just seemed.
I understand.
Like two sides of her face are not.
Yeah, I get it. That's
Sending the
interesting
same
that you're so
signals. It's
tuned
like,
into
what
that.
the-
That's very interesting to me. Okay, let's keep watching. Let's do some more.
All right, here's another fun one.
Where else but Costa Rica can you buy a pound of tuna? A pound of tuna for like $5. Buy it fresh caught from the freaking ocean out here. And just eat it. $5 a pound of tuna. Raw. Got my papaya here. The papayas are so delicious. I got some avocado and a freaking bone. Full of bone marrow.
Oh.
So what I'm gonna do is after I eat this tuna, I can't stand to go to a sushi restaurant and pay so much money for sushi. When look at this,
Yeah, it's
a
sushi. I
pound
get
of
it.
yummy, delicious raw
I get
tuna
it. Okay.
for just like $5. I can't even eat this much. It's so much. What a primal way to be.
Yeah, I get that.
I like it here.
Good.
I don't think I'm gonna eat this avocado because this is gonna fill me up.
Dude, stay there. Stay in Costa Rica. I like the way he's angry and aggressive about it. He has to express it with this extreme aggression, like, oh, I'm gonna eat my bone marrow. A lot of those guys that are sort of the odd food consumers have that quality, right? It's
Yeah,
weird.
they're like, oh, this is the best
Yeah.
thing that is like what I eat is what everyone should eat. type of
Right. That's right. It's a little
But I'll tell you what, like in the previous videos that we've seen of him where he's eating like raw steak and shit, and he's like, oh, it tastes just like pussy or whatever.
I don't think I've seen this guy.
You have. You definitely have. He's
All
like,
right.
I think last time you were on with Susan or maybe the time before, he's like, this raw meat, it just tastes like pussy.
I get confused with all the raw meat and rancid meat and all these guys that
But
eat
this
meat.
looks appealing.
It does look appealing. It's like sushi.
Like, yeah, I'm down to eat just
No,
a
I
steak
would.
of
If I'm in Costa Rica, I'd be looking for that tuna salesman. I mean, that looks awesome.
I'm just a little sus about the fact he said it's $5 for all that. I don't know.
Right,
That's a little concerning.
Be bad fish.
Might not be the best. Maybe it was about to be thrown out.
Right.
Looks
Is
pretty
tuna
good.
$5?
You don't want to eat raw tuna on sale, you know?
Yeah, it's Costa Rica. Maybe fisherman caught his, whatever. All right, keep going.
I'm a kid and I don't have to go to school. I'm a kid and I don't have to go to school. I'm a kid and I don't have to go to school. What do you think?
I think you're weird, dude. I'm afraid he's going to have a sort of piggy moment.
A piggy moment?
Like, I guess, I learned since we used to watch Norman, the Piggy Man.
Oh.
That's
what you meant by piggy.
Well, it turns out, we never talked about this. It turns out that the eating of shit, the way he was doing it, is called like pigging or piggy or something. It's a whole line of behavior around the pig. And I'm fearful this guy has a similar proclivity.
Do we know for sure that this guy isn't like a Robin Williams and Jack sort of situation?
That he's like a reverse Benjamin Button type deal?
Yeah, he's actually a child adult.
He's actually child. I see no evidence of that, but nice thought.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's into.
What do you mean? You don't see the backpack?
No, I see that he's behaving like a child, but this is some.
He's
weird,
got the lanyard too. That's pretty childish.
It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it. Okay, keep going.
All right, here's the last TikTok of this segment. Here's the last TikTok of this segment. So the text here says how this is steak that's been outside for a week.
I hate these rancid meat eating guys. They make me just want to vomit. No. No,
Nom, 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 nom,
and then, of
nom,
course, they're going to chew it and throw it and show it in their mouth and stuff. That seems to be their thing. Let's see if he does that. God, it's
yeah, because it's like to prove, like, see, I'm doing it.
The insides are still normal looking, but it is only 2 weeks old.
Can you, yeah. Oh, you're so cool, dude. Oh, you are the coolest dude.
Clean fork.
We just swallowed it. He didn't chew it. That's interesting. Pretending to chew it, looks like to me. Well, let's see. Maybe that's why they open their mouth.
That is an interesting observation.
Right? Doesn't it seem like he just swallowed it?
It's like, now that I'm picturing him faking chewing, that does look like faking chewing.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Because
that's a very interesting observation.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just so tender that his teeth just glide right through that meat.
Is he going to...
No, but it's like...
Maybe that part of the challenge in that world is the chewing of it. Oh, it's chewier
Raw
because
meat,
then it's cooked counterpart. Yeah, but
I didn't see him chewing.
Yeah, I didn't really see it. He has weird sticking his tongue out
So
in
some
between
people
chews.
think that I've just been seasoning a fresh steak each time. But I'd like you to have a look at what's happening to the fat there.
It's putrefied. It must smell lovely.
That doesn't happen with just seasoning. You know it's been sitting out.
There's
So
an ant
here's a
on that
good look
plate.
of what's left over.
Oh, there's a bunch of ants on that plate.
There's ants?
Yep.
Which I'll
Bunch of
sample again
bugs.
next week.
Very cool.
Because he's been leaving it out for a long time, right?
Yep.
You have to build up like the bacteria in your stomach, right, to eat something like that. Is that something you have to work towards, or they just do it?
I don't even know how to answer it because your stomach doesn't have bacteria; it's acid, so everything's cleaned out. And usually rancid triggers something called the chemoreceptor trigger zone in your brain, where you'll vomit immediately. So I don't know how he's overriding that. If the meat is infected with something as it goes down, obviously there'll be a swelling and abdominal pain and that kind of stuff, and then diarrhea, but he's not complaining about any of that stuff. So I don't know. Don't do it at home. I agree with that part. That's what it says on the video, and we should listen to them. All right. Let's do a couple of emails here, Chad. I want you to help me with this.
Great.
Such limited time here.
Oh, yeah, wait. Do you guys want to talk about how you guys greeted each other last night? Now we could...
We can talk about that now?
Yeah.
So, yeah, sure. I came up to Eddie, and I was really happy to see him. And as I was approaching him, I remembered the joy I had when he called me, he expressed a certain affection towards me with a certain term that I felt like we crossed over into a realm of special connection. And I thought, and I constantly think to myself, God, I'd love to be able to call him that too, but I can't, and I shouldn't, but I need a similar term to be able to express my affection for him. And as I approached, I just said, good to see you, whatever I'm allowed to call you.
That was because I came. I was like, "Yo, my boy, what's up, bro?" And we dabbed.
And I remember the time you called me something very special, and that was what was in my head.
But it was just such a funny like right after, because it's just what you do. You know, we were like matching each other's energy. I'm like, my boy, and you're like, yo, my whatever I could call you, dog. I'm like, yo.
That's exactly what it was.
In the middle.
That's exactly what it was. And it literally was. I want to use the same degree of affection that I felt when you
know, you should try
turns of me. What?
You know, you should try.
Tell me, coach me.
You know, you should call me. Just call me the opposite, because that's what I'm calling you, right?
Cracker?
I'm calling you something that doesn't make
Cracker?
sense. Yeah, like what's up, Cracker?
All right, done.
Say something like that.
Done. That's what I was thinking. That was in my head, but I don't know I need some coaching, man. I don't want to. I want it to work. I want in fact, what I did do kind of worked, saying whatever I'm allowed to call you, and now we figured it out. So, okay.
I think, number one, I wouldn't do it to anybody else, though.
No.
I don't think anybody else is going to like that.
I understand. I would have to, well, Christina, maybe.
Maybe.
But we have to, this kind of thing has to be talked through, right? We have to
Of course. I mean, the reality of it is there's nothing that's gonna match it. You know.
No, I know.
It's the best word in the world, but I mean,
I know.
You know, we went through a lot of shit to say, so I'm
not gonna go there. So I know better.
You can use some J words.
Like what?
Like bike with a K.
No.
Let's see. You see how Nadal tries to steer you down?
Yeah, no. He's trying to get me in trouble.
Deep drains and in the sewer.
I'm wondering.
I'm here to help, Drew.
But I'm wondering if there are any Yiddish terms that would be acceptable.
That's a Yiddish term.
No, I know it's not acceptable.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Really? That comes from that?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean?
What's funny is that I learned this from Patrice O'Neill. There's a word, there's a clip where he goes, that word comes from the Yiddish word, I believe Yiddish word for circle. Because that's what they had on their passports.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Whoa.
I should Google that. In fact,
Yiddish is there's so many funny, great terms. Maybe I'll come up with something. All right, let me see if I can get a quick email in here so we can get Chad and see how he does with. One of my fondest memories is being 16 years old and having my 20-something at the time brother introduce me to Loveline under the guise that I'll learn a thing or two. I'm happy to say that it worked like a charm. I've been happily married for 16 years. Anyway, I have a question about jerking off. Okay, just exactly where my head went with this. Our oldest son is 12, so there is a strong chance that he touches his camera through the fence at least once a day. This is the first time somebody has made it explicit what that phrase might have meant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's used a lot, but he's using it like explicitly. It's about touching the junk. Okay. My wife, though, who is a lot more religious than I am, she's a Mormon, which I used to be as well, but not anymore, isn't so sure. What are the best arguments you know of for why masturbation is needed, indeed normal and healthy? And what are some of the ways we can approach this topic with him that won't give him some weird complex? Thanks, and watch for the waspices. Chad, you worked with a lot of young men and women. You were a professor.
All right. Yeah, so first of all, semen stored in the balls, right?
No.
Okay.
But thank
Just
you.
checking.
You were really close, Chad.
Thank you. I do have. I've done some interviews with urologists recently, and I do have some updates.
Cum is in the balls?
No, but I have some information that I did, and that like next time I'm gonna talk about this. Remember you asked me about twisting the penis and all that, Eddie?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay, we're gonna get into that a little more.
Wait, is it gonna be a bad thing?
Not a bad thing, but it wasn't. I dismissed it a little bit, much the way I dismissed your bowel habits, and it was a little more of a concern.
Why don't we just leave it right where we left it?
No, we're gonna get to it.
So the mom's religious.
She's uptight. She doesn't believe that he's masturbating. She doesn't believe that it's good for him.
Well, he definitely is.
Let's just be very clear.
Yeah,
he definitely
is.
And the way back in the old day they used to say it is that 90% of adolescents masturbate and the other 10% are lying. So that's it. He does.
Yeah.
Now, rarely I'll come across young males that are sort of on a mission to withhold their sexual drives. It's very hard for them to do it. They at one time did masturbate, then all of a sudden decided it's bad for them and they withhold it. But that's very, very, very unusual. Don't see that very often. So
yeah, that happens a lot in like ultra religious families.
In usually in my experience, people with different, they're not in this country, or they have not grown up in this country typically.
It's so, I mean, to me, it's just a bodily function that you kind of need to take care of.
Correct. It's like urinating or anything else. Right. Although did you used to try to control that one too?
No, actually, I might be one of the, I don't know, I'm sure people will think I'm the part of the 10% that's lying, but I definitely didn't when I was younger. It took me a very long time to discover it. I didn't understand, like, growing up in school when they do fucking, the motions and shit and talk about it. I thought everybody was lying. I didn't understand.
So you were like Chase?
Yes.
Chase.
Yes, me and Chase grew up in that respect, yeah.
How old were you when you first figured it out?
I really don't remember, but it was old. I was in high school.
Were you a shorter kid early in high school?
Shorter.
Like a lot shorter than you are now?
Oh man, that's a hard question because I still feel short. I don't know.
I'm wondering if you just hit puberty late.
I don't know.
I'm gonna bet that it's something in that zone. And I know you were very focused on controlling bodily functions and things, so I don't know. That may have also something to do with it. But I suspect, if this 16-year-old is post-pubertal, it's coming. And once you found it, it was on, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay.
It's like my favorite thing growing up.
Good for you, Chad. That's good. Your students will love to hear this. So, excessive masturbation leads to a career in documentary film production and professorship. So, I would say, I kind of say, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't you? Because he's talking to his buddies about it. It's already happening. Maybe work on your wife.
That's what I would say too.
Yeah, just leave him alone. And if somebody walks in on him, then have the conversation. Like, that's fine, we got it. Everyone, no problem.
Definitely try not to walk in on him though. That would be terrible.
Yeah. Well, Mike Catherwood, was on the show a couple weeks ago. His mom used to walk on him so often, he started screaming at her. Mom, when I'm in the bathroom, what do you think I'm doing? And will you get the hell out of here? Screaming at her. And it happened. He said it happened all the time. Like, what do you think I'm in the bathroom
all the
for?
Time.
Yeah, like dozens of times she walked in on him masturbating.
I feel like it's like Chad nailed it on the head. If you think it's happening, just fucking leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Because it is happening. It's perfectly normal, perfectly natural. Don't watch out for the waspices. But you're gonna have to calm the wife down, because I bet he picks up on it naturally. I mean, who knows what kind of side comments she's making about sexuality and things. And so you got to really have a nice long talk with her about what guilting him might do to him. It's not going to be helpful, and it's not going to reduce guilting him is not going to have an effect. It may even increase his acting out. He's just going to go deeper into hiding. Well, Chad, it's been a privilege to get to know you. We're going to dig into Chris next. We're going to see where this goes. Anything you'd like me to ask him?
Well, I mean, Team Chris at this point is kind of a sinking ship. So I think
I don't know yet. I don't know.
Bodied.
I mean, I see a lot of people jumping sides, and I just want to say that, come on over. There's plenty of food to drink. We got Ennie, we got Zolo. We're having a good time. Plus, we have far less principals, so we're having way more fun.
Wow. Okay, Professor. I think I may need to speak to Zolo next show too, just to make sure that's accurate. So Team Chad is Zolo and Ennie, right?
Currently,
now. Currently, and
soon to be Drew.
We'll see. I tend to stay kind of neutral. I'm pretty even, pretty middle of the road on most things. Where there's conflict, I'm not particularly interested in engaging in it, but we'll see. I mean, I'm a little persuaded towards Team Chad, I got to admit. I'm a little cool. Some of the talent on display was extraordinary. The acting, the musicianship.
Thank you.
Willing to turn your back on old Chrissy boy? Just
we'll see. I'm giving him a chance. I'm going to bring him in here. We're going to thump on him. We'll see what the deal is.
Drew, I wanted to say that it's an honor that you had me in here, and this is really cool. Just a little over half a year ago, I was on my couch in my boxers watching your show, and now I'm on here fully clothed. It's pretty wild. It's pretty cool. And your new studio is awesome. So just congratulations and thank you.
So I'm on full Team Chad now. Full on Team Chad. I'm just Team Chad. That's it.
Attaboy.
Done and done.
You know
Team
what,
Chad.
Drew? Noted.
So, all right, it's a privilege to have you. Thank you for doing all the great work you do here, and I look forward to all the kind of creative things you think of. I mean, if you want me to do stuff or you have ideas and things, let's go do stuff. Let's do
Yeah, it's nice. I finally have like a outlet for my creative ideas.
Yeah,
So-
and it seems to me I have felt for some time we should be able to come up with some other interesting videos that have good impact and change things and get people thinking and entertain people at the same time. So let's do stuff.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Drew.
sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank all of you. We didn't get too many voice messages or emails today, but I will get to those next time. We'll expose Chris to all that. Yeah, thank you all for being here. We'll see you next time. All conversations and information exchanged during participation in the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.